Can you imagine a 3-row family hauler that does 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds? Well, you don't have to imagine because I'm here at the Indy 500. That's right, the Brickyard, to drive this, the SRT Durango. And coming up right now in the fast lane car, we're going to take this for a hot lap. Under this very light hood is the same power plant you'll find in the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT. It's a 6.4 liter Hemi that produces 475 horsepower and 470 pound-foot of torque. It is mated to all 4 wheels, of course, via paddle shifters and an 8-speed automatic transmission. How is it on the track? Well, let me show you.
I was just doing a radio check, so we're good to go when you are.
So I'm not a race car driver. I don't pretend to be one. So the goal here is to not only be able to actually drive on this, iconic raceway, but to not put it into a wall. Okay?
There you go. That's, I love it. That's good.
Is that a good goal?
That is perfect. That works for me.
All right, because we have a professional race car driver that we work with, and he's the guy who sets the lap times.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm just here, kind of, as an everyman driver who gets to live kind of this vicarious lifestyle and go on this racetrack. I can't believe I'm sitting here.
F1 racetrack.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I mean, this is
at Indy. My dad and I grew up in Chicago.
Okay.
And when I was a little guy, my dad and I used to come out here every year for the race.
Wow.
And back then they would televise it after the race took place. So we would come here, watch the race, and then go home and watch it on TV.
Neat.
So to actually be driving it is crazy.
Yeah.
And right now I'm just following the other guys in front of us. So.
Yeah, and you're kind of looking for the cones here.
Yep.
You don't necessarily, some of them might be off track, so you're just looking for your cones to follow. And you always want to look ahead. You don't want to look at your hood because then you're going to be more abrupt.
Yes.
So look at your next cone and kind of follow. Where you're looking is where your hands. Just a slight brake off the brake here, and then kind of glide through. This is a laid apex. You're going to stay, and your cone's way down there. There you go.
So kind of hit this a little bit earlier.
Yep, that's all right. Stay out here.
So this is a big, heavy car, and obviously managing the weight transition of such a heavy car on a racetrack is kind of key to it. It sounds phenomenal.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
This thing's got a lot of horsepower.
475 horsepower.
Yep.
And
so they're still heavy, but they still get up and go.
So let's talk numbers. 0 to 60, about 4.5 seconds. A quarter mile, 12.9 seconds. And here's a crazy number, 8,700 pounds of towing capacity. That is actually more than the Tahoe or the Suburban. Yeah, the Dodge people tell you that this feels a lot smaller than it is for a 3-row family hauler.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about that. It feels pretty big. This is no Miata.
No, it's not. That's true.
Yeah. But the all-wheel drive helps, especially with this rain. You feel like you get a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, they can get a little bit, but they're better than the Challenger as far as the grip and moving.
Feels pretty neutral right now. It's funny, 10 years ago, taking a big SUV, and this is actually not body on frame, this is a unibody, on a racetrack would have seemed crazy, right?
Yes. Because
of the way that the dynamics of these vehicles work, right? There's just too much weight, there's too much, not enough grip, and now with all the electronics, these cars are incredible on the track.
It is amazing.
Yeah. They do things that physics shouldn't allow.
Exactly. Yep. The first time I drove the SRT Grand Cherokee on a road course, I was like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe how well it performed on a road course for a Cherokee. And these are the same way.
Yeah, it's basically a stretched version of the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT. I do like these seats, they really do hold you in place.
Yeah, they have come a long way on the interior design.
Yeah.
This is kind of tricky through here.
Yeah, they slow us down for this.
And then you get going
Get
through here.
the step on the. All right, here we go.
Launching it.
Oh, that sounds good. And we're up to 70. Let's see how fast we can get going down the straightaway before I have to put on the brakes. Tell me when to brake. Well, we're gonna hit 100.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Start braking a little bit easy, just easy,
Yeah.
not much.
Yeah, the brakes are good.
Yeah, you can let off. Yeah.
Way too early for braking there. Yeah, because there were brake
Well,
cones.
that's for when it's dry.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot less grip. So how can you tell an SRT Durango, say, from a Pentastar model? Well, it's pretty straightforward. There's a lot more body cladding. You of course have this hood with functional air scoops and a big bright 392 on the side, telling everyone that you've got the big boy motor under the hood of your Durango. This is kind of the Formula One course, sort of, kind of, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
This is what they ran, was this course here.
Oh my God, that sounds phenomenal. I mean, listen to that Hemi. You know, this is not a car that people are going to take on a racetrack, right?
No, exactly.
Right? This is a car that people are going to use to tow their boat or take their family to church.
So you'll get to church fast and
Yeah.
you'll get to the lake fast.
Yeah, it's the kind of car like, honey, I'm going to buy us a family hauler, and you come home with this, and both the wife and I think the husband are happy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of the feeling I get for this car. But the brakes feel very confidence-inspiring. They're very linear. There's not a lot of fade at all. Of course, we're not really pushing it that hard, but with this much weight, that tends to happen. I love that kind of raspy when you back off the
Isn't it
exhaust.
awesome? Yeah.
I love the look over the hood when you see the air vents. It reminds me, we have a long-term Hellcat, so it reminds me of that Hellcat.
Oh.
And in terms of kind of driving dynamics of this car, when you compare it to cars like the BMW X6M, right, which is another car that it potentially sort of kind of might compete with, it's certainly more in kind of that flavor than it is, let's say, a Tahoe or a Suburban, which it also in a way competes with, right? It's a lot smaller than both those cars.
Right.
But it does seem to have some kind of hot rod DNA baked into its soul.
Exactly.
Now, in case you're wondering, 60 to 0 with these big red brakes, 115 feet. And prices start at about $62,000 and production begins in about a month. So if you're looking for a family hauler that will also haul ass on the racetrack, this may be the car for you. This is Roman reporting from the Brickyard, driving the SRT Durango, saying thanks for watching. Yeah, and see you next time, and check out tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, crazy Indy 500 reviews. Ciao. How'd you get into racing? How'd you start?
My dad raced growing up, so I was around it all the time, and I was a tomboy growing up, just competitive by nature, and loved it. And once I got in the go-kart, I was hooked.